Now the shampoo is over. Hey, listen.
So you gonna cut the hair wet?
With another cake, which is called a cutting cake.
What you mean that's your auntie? Nah, that's my auntie. That's my daddy's sister. Oh, that's my daddy's sister. Yeah. You better get the hell from around me. I ain't fucking with you. I ain't fucking with you. Nah, I ain't fucking with her like that. You ain't do none of that now. You go there.
So for the shampoo, you gotta use the shampoo.
Shampoo cake for the shampoo. The cutting cake.
Put your hands in the air.
If you got two separate cutting cakes, yeah, you can do that. Because you're showing that you're redraping that client over and over, for the two separate purposes. I got a neck clip.
Yeah.
I got you.
Got one. Thank you.
Out. Let me change the fire. Jamie, change the fire, man. 5 what? 5 ones, man.
You can have everybody except for the bank.
5 ones, man. Give me that 5 before.
It Brinks truck.
You know what that is?
We'll go through all these techniques. Basically, with this cut right here, you notice that the back is already tapered. You should never, for a mop stay board, you should never have somebody come in pre-cut like this. It's called pre-cut.
Come on, man. I still got to get the cookie, man. Can't take the dollars. Still get the cookie, man.
So notice that I just took these out of the barber side, drying them off with a paper towel, put them in a sanitation area for dry implements.
So you only got the H42 adjust that left square, right?
Yes.
What was the question?
Did I have 842 in only one of the squares right here?
Okay.
I can have a little small amount in each one of the squares if I wanted to. Didn't have 3 clippers, but I didn't think it was necessary to have 3 clippers. So, but it is necessary to sanitize my tools. So I want to make sure that when I use it, I dip it in there. The reason why I would be cutting this wet is because I'll be doing a shear over finger technique on the top. I'll be doing a clipper cut on the bottom and the sides, or the nape and the sides.
So we need a water bottle too.
Yes.
Cut black people hair wet too?
Yes. If you were doing this black person, you may want to do the cut first and then do the shampoo afterwards. But if that person has straight hair, like a female or something like that, feel free to cut it wet. Anytime you're dealing with straight hair, you want to cut it wet. Because what happens is you can dry the back off of the bottom area as much as you possibly can and still give a good cut on it. All right, so it's not an issue.
Right? That's family, Chris. That's a cousin too.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people ask, what do I do when the oil is on there? Use paper towel. And this is so that I don't have to use a towel and then put it in the dirty hamper each time I use it. But each time I use a paper towel, feel free to throw it away. Alright. First technique. I try to have a comb in my hand at all times because I can't have my brush. So if I have that comb, I don't have to be concerned about putting it down. So the first step, you guys know, is to do the tapering technique. Now with doing the tapering, what helps me a lot is if I start that with the blade open, I should give a nice little scooping technique right up towards the occipital area. It gives me a somewhat of a blend. You guys notice I am cutting hair here. So it gives me somewhat of a blend of a 45 right in this area up to the occipital area. Alright? Now, from that point, I'll start to blend backwards. And I'll lower the guard. Then I'll go a little lower on the tapered area. Once finished that, then I'll go 0 on the clipper, and I'll work on the very bottom of the taper area, which gives me the tapered right away. Alright? It minimizes all my problems. Now, once at the occipital area, I notice I have to come up a little bit, right? So here I use my comb with my clipper at 0. I use my comb at a 45 here, and I start to blend as such.
So you scooping on the middle guards, basically?
Well, the number one thing is you're not using
Oh,
guards.
no guards, the stabilizer.
Okay? You're not using guards. So you're learning how to do this technique. Get the same cut as if you were fading or doing a 45 on a client, and not be concerned about using guards. You want to be able to use all the techniques as far as clip over comb, shear over comb, and shears over fingers to get that same effect called the taper. But if you're going underneath, you're blending without line. Notice that you can utilize the freehand technique to give a smooth blend. Another way of minimizing the line. Remember, this is an hour 45-minute haircut. No, not sorry, hour 15-minute haircut. And that's with the shave shampoo. So let's work on this as quick as possible. Get it out of the way. Let's not spend a lot of time in it. All right. If we do our tapering part first, that means that all we have to do is work on the shear over fingers last, and that's really should be a more simpler process. First step, that open your clippers all the way. Go right in here and blend up, creating a 45 with this particular technique. Most of the work is done with the scooping technique. The blend is relatively smooth and easy. 45-degree blend with just a few strokes. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side. Now that we have the 45 with the blending technique or the scooping technique, now we're going to tie the sides in with the back, right over the top of the ear. That means that the guide here and the guide in the back, keeping the comb at a 45 degree. If it doesn't blend over the ear, then just go in and freehand it.